Hey there. Welcome to Freedom by Design. Anywhere is possible through e-commerce. This is a Listing Studios podcast where we're going to flip the script on what work and freedom can look like. Have you ever dreamt of building a business that lets you do life your way? Whether it's traveling the world, spending more time with your people, or even saying goodbye to that boss of yours, then you're in the right place. Hi, I'm Tina, global entrepreneur, e-commerce enthusiast, and your guide to turning your dreams into a reality that works for you. Here, we're diving into creative strategies, real-world tips, and share stories that will inspire you. So go grab a coffee or wine. I'm not judging. Let's get comfy and let's talk about how to design a business and a life that you're obsessed with. Let's get started. All right, guys, welcome back to Freedom by Design. I'm your host, Tina. And today I'm chatting with someone who's been a part of my journey for years, Jessica. Jessica, welcome to the podcast. She's worked with me as a contractor for several years now. Started out with Wanderwear, my e-commerce brand, and then we worked together at amazing.com as well, just working on some fun stuff. And then a year, 2 years ago, when Listing Studios belonged to someone else, she also did some amazing contract work for Listing Studios as well. And now she's building her own marketing firm, focused on data-driven strategies. But for me, what makes her story even more inspiring is that she's doing it all while raising two young kids. Jessica, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Tina. What an intro. I need to record that and like play it while I get ready for the day. Thank
Can
you.
you, you're welcome. Can you start by telling us a little bit about yourself and your background?
Sure. So, yeah, I am, like Tina mentioned, a mom of two boys who are 6 and 3 in 2 days.
Ooh, happy
And
birthday.
yeah,
Which one?
thank you. Drew.
Drew.
Drew is going to be 3,
I've
which is
known
wild.
these babies when they were little peanuts inside
Babies.
Jessica's
Yes,
tummy.
for real. Yeah, and
That's
can
how
you
long
believe
we've known each other.
he's 3, which is wild. Yes. And I have been in marketing in general for 15 years, and the last 6 working with Tina specifically on e-commerce marketing, diving deep into email marketing, a little bit of ads, but overall, my full career has been in the strategy, data analytics, a little bit of project management realm. And I really enjoy that piece of the marketing business. And my husband and I and our family, we live outside of Atlanta. We lived here almost 4 years. And fun fact, how Tina and I also connected on the Wanderwear stuff. My husband and I lived in Germany for 3 years. So we have that wanderlust lifestyle
Yes.
vibes as well. I don't know if I'll get to 50 by 50, but we'll see.
I mean, if you set the goal, it will happen,
That's
right?
right. That's right. I know I've never counted how many countries. I need to do that and see how far off I am.
You have a lot of years left before
Yeah,
you approach 50. So I
we'll
think
see.
I think if you put
It
your
could
mind
happen.
to it, it can happen.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so.
Um, awesome. So marketing has been kind of like your jam.
hmm
Um, how though has your experience working with different businesses, whether it's Amazing, the previous
hmm
business that you worked with, even with Brooks, who also worked with us at
hmm
Amazing, and including mine, the different variations of the businesses, how did they shape how you approach marketing?
Oh my goodness, what a deep question. I think the what has stuck out to me is that everyone wants the same goal, which is more traffic, more customers, more revenue. And how you get to that place varies business to business. The how changes, but the what is the same. So, and what I really like, especially working with Brooks at that agency and working with Wanderwear and Amazing, is seeing what's going to drive someone to buy. And that's an overall marketing touch point, no matter your business. What's the messaging that's going to get someone to buy? And then analyzing the data that you collect so that you can stop doing the things that aren't working and continue to put your time and effort into what is working, which is where that data-driven strategy comes from, because no one wants to waste their time
And money.
and money. Exactly.
I've seen it where people are just like focused on why is my ads not performing? It's like,
Mhm.
well, have you looked at your, where, is it affecting your traffic? Is it affecting your conversion rate? Like, what is your
Mhm.
goal for the
Mhm.
ads, right? If your
Mhm.
goal, if the goal is to bring in traffic, then if that goal is achieved, great. But if you're looking at ads, you design it to drive traffic, but
Mhm.
then you're concerned about the conversion piece of it. Well, that's almost an apples to oranges comparison, and a lot of folks don't get that. So, finding
Absolutely,
the
yeah.
objective and looking at the numbers to help drive decisions on the back end.
hmm And one thing that I think now working with more small business owners, entrepreneurs, that I wished people would understand more is that just because you see a guru, and I'm using that in quotes, says on Instagram or somewhere, like you have to be doing 3 simultaneous Facebook ads. And like, if that doesn't work for your business, you don't have to do it. Like, just because that's what someone says doesn't mean it's going to work for you and your business, which is why collecting your personal data, analyzing it, and looking at what works for you is the
Right.
most important. Because
Exactly.
all that stuff is great. And like you said, if you're running an ad and your goal is traffic, but you're not looking at the traffic results, then that was a waste of time.
Yep.
And
Exactly.
same to put more money and time into ads, but you've run ads for a year and now you found that they're not even bringing you more traffic or conversions. Well, okay, try now putting more time and effort into your emails and seeing if that works.
Yeah. It's trying different things, but doing them in a calculated way, using
Yes.
numbers, right, to help drive
hmm
those decisions, to dial up or dial down on the different business factors.
Right. Exactly.
Awesome. I love it.
I
I'm a data
compare it
geek
to
myself.
I love the data. It's kind of like too if you were going on a health journey
Yeah.
and you were just like I need to eat less, but you don't know how much you're currently eating, you're not going to lose weight.
Love it.
And I
Love it.
say that too as someone who is in that bucket of like, where, oh, well, because I don't track what I eat. So I'm probably eating a lot more than I think.
Yeah, Steve and I use our My Fitness Pal tracker.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
whenever we decide we want to go on a diet of some sort,
Mhm.
actually last week we just had this conversation. Steve's like,
Mhm.
I need to lose more weight. I'm like, how much more weight are you gonna
Can
lose?
you
You look
lose?
perfect. He's like,
Right.
no, I don't mean like eating less. I just mean tracking what I'm
hmm
eating, right?
hmm Yeah.
And tracking makes a huge difference because then you can go look and see, okay, I need to actually increase my protein intake, right?
hmm
To
Exactly.
balance it and things like that to achieve this goal of losing X pounds in the next 30 days or whatever it is. So
Right.
tracking is huge. Yeah. Yeah.
It's
I
huge.
love that
And
analogy.
same with health. It's different for each person.
Yeah.
Same with marketing. It's different for each person. And you don't know how to reach your goal if you don't know where you're starting.
Now you're kind of off on your own. What was the
Yes.
hardest part about making the leap into now running your own business?
Oh, a lot of things. But I think the biggest piece was having the confidence slash lack of imposter syndrome to know
Mm,
I could do it
yeah.
was the biggest thing. Because it's like the knowledge is there, but it's still, and you've talked about this on your podcast too, that feeling of like, do I really know what I'm doing? And
Some
then
days, yes, some days, no.
exactly, exactly. So that was the biggest hurdle. And also being a stay-at-home mom, default parent, all of those buzzwords, and finding the time or making the time. And what really helped with the leap was my youngest, Drew, started preschool. So he had childcare. He's at school 12 hours a week.
Yeah.
So it's a great time for me to get the work done and while still being an active parent for the majority of the day.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember talking
Yeah.
to you years ago about once the
Time.
boys go to school, and I'm like, oh my God, we're here
I know,
already.
I know. Or same, I was like, I can meet with you. It has to be after 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, but I can
Eastern
meet with
time.
you.
It's a good
Yep.
thing there's a 3 hour difference for us because
Yes,
it kind of worked in its own little
it
natural
did.
way, right?
It did. It
Yeah.
really did.
Okay, so given that you are a mompreneur,
Mm.
you are also targeting mompreneurs as your target market. Talk to me about that,
Yes.
and why do you think you feel so connected to this group? Obviously, because you're also a mom, but yeah.
Right. I think in the last 15 years, moms have realized that you can be a stay-at-home mom and have a business. I think, especially for my mom, that was you either had to go all in on your business or all in on your children, and there was no working remotely, there was no part-time, there was no nothing. And I think now we're realizing you can still have use that one part of your brain and be with your kids. And I want that for myself,
Hmm.
and I want to collaborate, work with, strategize with other moms who have a dream to grow this business, specifically an e-commerce business, and to see that through. Because if anyone can get shit done, it's a mom.
Oh my God. Mom's
Right.
rule.
Yes. So, and I think for a while I myself kind of put my dreams on hold. Like I was excited to work and keep that, contractor life of just being able to learn and keep my knowledge up and have a little piece for myself. And now that the kids are older and realizing, oh, this has been a dream of mine to have my own business and to finally be able to see that through
Yeah.
is exciting. And I want that for other moms too. You don't have to be just mom.
Right, right. No, that's great because sometimes, you think, well, I'm a mom now and that's all I want to be.
Hmm.
For now,
Hmm.
maybe that's fine. And but there are some that want to do that and that's totally okay. There are some
Right.
others that are just like, I'm just happy, happy little
Hmm.
butterfly over here.
Yes.
But there are some that are just like, oh my God, I love this part of my life, but I also need something for myself.
Hmm.
Do you think that your messaging in terms of who you're for comes across to moms who also feel that way?
I would like it to. And that's probably a pain point for myself of trying to find that messaging because I don't want to be so like, the you can do anything, mama. Like, while that's true, that's not my
No, I
vibe.
totally get it. I totally
And
get
but
it.
also just that like I kind of like to use the messaging of like, hey mom, I see you busting your butt to get your work done, but you're also the one to pick up your kid when the school calls and says they're sick and you have to rearrange your schedule, and which is great, trying to connect in a way of how to be more efficient with your marketing and that you don't have to be really grinding all the time and hustling and trying to be on your phone at the same time that you're with your kids. So I'm getting there. I would hope my messaging comes across that way, but it's one of those, it's hard to, and that's what people struggle with. And
Yeah.
if I can do it all day for someone else, but for yourself, it's just like, what does a mom want? And it's like, at the end of the day, a mom just wants more time with their kids, but also more time to do things for herself. And if that something is building a dream business, that's who I want to
Work with.
work with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome.
So if you're
Now,
out there,
moms,
yeah, yes,
moms who are aspiring to create a side hustle, retain a piece of themselves that they want to grow eventually, right?
yes,
And turning maybe even some of their passion projects into something that's going to make them money.
yeah,
And so definitely there is a lot of room for that. I think you
Yes.
agree. Otherwise, you wouldn't be doing what you're doing, right?
Absolutely. And a lot of I feel like Etsy started because there were moms who were
Yeah.
crafty and realized they could sell their homemade wreaths. And now people are realizing like, oh, Etsy, takes part of my money. Same with Amazon, it's
Hmm.
there. And with Etsy, you're still fulfilling.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, oh, now I can go on this other site and be on my own and like really have all the profit, but also all of the cost and that sort of thing. So I know that there are moms who have amazing ideas and who have product ideas or who make things, who have found their own niche and are trying to get their brand out there. And that's my hope and dream to get their brands out there.
So do you only work with moms who already have an existing business? Is that,
Um, no, I I my ideal client is a someone who has dabbled into the side hustle, has the idea in some sort of proof of concept that this is going to work,
yeah.
who maybe is currently selling to their friends or family a little bit, maybe on Etsy, Instagram, that sort of thing,
Hmm.
who wants to take it to the next level.
Hmm.
And another piece is moms who have an e-commerce business who they're doing their thing, they're making sales, but they're not where they want to be.
Yeah.
That's I want to take them from that like, couple $1,000 a month to multi
Hmm.
$10,000 a month, myself
Awesome.
included.
Awesome. That's showing up every day, right? That's being around the same people with the same mindset. Um, that also includes learning, but not over consuming, right? But rather
Mm,
doing. And
hmm
so, yeah, just that different mindset shift to get you
hmm
there from the 1K to the 10K per month, right?
Yeah,
And showing up even when the days are hard and when no one else is around.
right. And that's the hardest thing too. Also, why I want to help or why I'm connecting with the moms is you are the whole show.
Yeah.
Even if you write your about us page and you're using the plural noun, even though it's your customer service, your shipping and logistics, your product development, and your marketing. And
Mhm.
it's really hard to do all of those things. And you only have a finite amount of time. It's not, moms aren't the 23-year-old who have, okay, yeah, you might work 9 to 5 and then you can do your side hustle from 5 to 9. Like that's not realistic.
Yeah.
And with tracking your marketing, you can find the gaps and stop wasting your time on stuff because you do need to be doing other things.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
prepping dinner, putting the
Right.
kids to bed, reading nighttime
Yes.
stories.
Yeah, exactly. And also then finally seeing through your other product idea,
Yeah.
reaching out to suppliers, or maybe it is writing a blog if that
Yeah.
works for your business. The those sort of things.
Yeah. So then how do you juggle client work, growing your brand, and then
Mhm.
being present for your family?
Yes. The age-old question, right?
The thing is, I remember you actually did, I think, an Instagram Reels that says there's no such thing as balance.
Yeah. That's what my gut reaction is like. I gave up the get it all done
Hmm.
mentality because that was a lot of what I was consuming of like your mom and you see these moms who have a YouTube channel or a big Instagram account, they're content creators and you don't think they're really working, but that's a big full-time job. And to have that mentality that like you're going to clean an hour a day and you're going to be super present and you're going to, make bread from scratch and, be the room mom and have a relationship with your husband and have friends and work out. And it's like, that's impossible. And I put
Hmm.
so much pressure on myself to be that person.
Hmm.
And within the last year, I've definitely shifted, and my kids are older, so I do have a little more time for myself, especially with Drew in preschool. But how I juggle it all, I have a very supportive husband who is with Drew right now. and who know like I can get so much done in like a 3 hour work block on a Sunday. And
Yeah.
it's like I need that time.
Yeah.
So I do a lot of that. And I've split up all of the house chore things. Like I have a laundry schedule, I have a cleaning schedule, and it's just cracking away at it every week bit by bit instead of like the storm tornado that is cleaning on the Saturday. And so much can happen too. And like I just set a timer for 20 minutes. What can I get done in this 20 minutes? And it's amazing what you can get done in 20 minutes. And
Right.
same with work stuff. It's like I've been putting this off forever and it's like that didn't take that long. And utilizing AI, I was super against it
Yeah, I
3 years ago
remember those
because
days.
yeah,
I'm
I was
like,
like, this is
yes,
gonna, I know. Yep.
come into the
Come to the
dark
dark.
side.
I know. And now it's just like, okay, no, this is a huge time. For a while, I thought this is going to put me out of business,
Yeah.
you know, but to use it in those efficient ways of like getting a podcast idea, getting a real idea, getting the idea
Hmm.
is so time saving because that's a huge piece. Of course, anything that it writes, I change to sound more like me and
Yeah.
all of those things. And but I also use it for making a meal plan
Yeah.
and activities for the kids. Like I just got much better at planning as well and realizing that if we have to go to Chick-fil-A today, it's not the end of the world. And if they love it or, it's not easy, but I think I accomplish a lot in the day. And when Drew is at preschool is my like sit down. I usually will drop him off. I'll do 30, set my timer for 20 or 30 minutes, do some house, whatever. And then I'm head down working till it's time to go pick him up. And that's really helped a lot. And when they weren't in school, I did hire a babysitter like
Mhm.
once a week to do the same type of deal.
Yeah.
And because that's necessary. And I think also all these YouTubers and stuff, it's like if you really dig into it, it's like they have a nanny or their husband, they make enough money that their husband now stays home full time. And it's like they don't share that part.
Yeah.
So to know that you have to be more efficient, you have to let go of the perfectionism, which is a daily struggle, and know that you are getting what you can done and it has to be what it is and prioritize and plan. And if someone's sick, like Drew was sick last week, it's just kind of like, well, I all I can do today is post a reel.
Yeah.
But that was something and it was enough to move, it's still moving forward.
Right. Right. Not staying complacent and dormant, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So what I'm hearing is, there's a lot, a lot to juggle,
Yeah.
a lot to do.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
Time blocking definitely has become a good friend to you. So has
Yes.
AI. Um,
Yes.
and realizing that you just don't have to do all the things today, right?
Huge. Letting go of that mentality because I think especially as moms, you think, their lunchbox has to look like this Pinterest lunchbox or that you have to have a pristine home with a white kitchen and you have to like again make sourdough. I'm never gonna make sourdough from scratch.
And I've seen your kitchen
Like,
on some days.
yes, and it's a nightmare. And it's why the background is blurry. I know, it's like
But I love
I
it. I
am
love it.
yeah,
You show up
that's life.
authentically. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
that's life.
So in terms of like owning your own business, there are so many
Hmm.
aspects to it, right? Marketing definitely is a big piece. Of all of like the marketing piece, why did you choose data to focus on? I know you were looking to niche down, but why that? Because you bring so much else to the table as well.
Oh, I appreciate that. I think a big piece of it was that I wanted to get into the more consulting coaching side
Hmm.
because I don't want to be the implementer
Mm.
just to as a for my time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that I am really good at seeing the big picture of
Hmm.
marketing and that's something that a lot of small business owners because you're in it. You can't see the forest through the trees.
Yeah.
And I chose data because it's something that everybody hears that they should do, but doesn't take the time to do it. and I want to show like you really only need 15 minutes to pull these numbers together every week. But
Hmm.
then you start to see the trends and you can start making better marketing decisions that's ultimately going to bring you more money and save you more time. So I didn't want to pick like I'm going to do your email marketing, which is awesome. I love email. I look at email. I like strategizing about email and your flows and everything. But that's only one piece of the puzzle. And I
Hmm.
like to see the overarching strategy, how it's working together, which to me is something that's really hard to teach.
Mm,
And
yeah.
but if I can work with a mompreneur with an online store and kind of show them the way and see how to think about marketing strategy, then they're going to take it so much further than just starting with your emails.
Right.
And you can hire a VA to do to write some emails for you.
Right.
And I think my knowledge is a little more valuable than just doing your emails.
Yeah.
Not to and the opposite of imposter syndrome. I think my that's true.
No, that's great. There
Yeah.
is a word for that, and I can't think of what it is right now.
No.
Um, so a lot of people they feel intimidated, right,
Mm.
when they hear the word data. How
Yes.
can business owners start using data in a simple, maybe more actionable
Hmm.
way? Like
Hmm.
what would some of your best practices or guidance be for someone who's just like, oh my God, I'm scared to look at data. It's so
Hmm.
intimidating. I don't know where to go pull the numbers.
Yes. Well, I think if you're scared of data, don't start in Google Analytics. Because yes, that is overwhelming. They change it all the time and where the stuff means and their word means something different in Meta. It's like
Mhm.
that is confusing. I would say to start with your whatever your platform is. Shopify has amazing analytics
They
just
do.
right on your page. Look at things like traffic numbers, traffic sources, how people are getting to your site, what your conversion rate is, and abandoned carts and just kind of looking at like the high level, anything that shows up on that first page of the Shopify analytics gives you a nice picture of what's working and what's not. I'd start there if you're not doing anything at all and just
Okay.
kind of see over time. And you can even see it in Shopify that change the dates and look at it from January to February. And you can kind of see, oh, on this day I did a lot.
Hmm.
Okay, well, what did you do on that day? Did you
Right.
post to social? Did you send an email? And then you're starting to dig. But just to look at it from a global perspective is a good place to start. And then I would also suggest time blocking either a Friday or a Monday, probably a Monday, I would say. Look at the week before for 15 minutes. Just look at it. Look at that Shopify dashboard. Then maybe you're digging into your Klaviyo, your Flowdesk analytics. And then you can add in your socials because social analytics to me don't really matter. They're more vanity, like how many
Hmm.
likes and how many comments you got is one thing. But even my own, if I look, oh, this got 7 likes. Why did that get so many likes? It's literally everybody I know who's not going to be my customer,
Yeah.
So the socials, I'm like, what's the engagement? Or did you get a DM about it? Did you get a comment? Did you get a lead? Did you get anything like that? So that's why that's the third tier because it's not a black and white, those analytics. So
Yeah.
I would also tell someone don't be afraid of your numbers. Like they're there to help you. And because you're instead of just you've got this wet noodle and you're throwing it to the wall and be like, did that stick? I don't know. Did that stick? I don't know. And then you're just sitting with a bunch of wet noodles on the ground and you've
Right.
wasted your time cooking this pasta. So just take a second, set a timer, and your pasta's ready.
There
I
you
say that
go.
as an Italian who like my great grandmother is like, don't tell them to set a timer. You just know when your pasta's done.
Some people
But
need timers, and that's
some people need
okay.
timers.
Yeah.
My husband, for sure. I'm like, why are you setting a timer for the pasta? You just touch it. But that's not going to be the case for an e-commerce
Right.
store. So that's
Set a timer.
that's right.
Um,
Does that answer your question? I think that's a pretty decent
yeah.
answer.
No, that's great.
Okay.
That's great.
Okay.
Um, Where do you see your business in the next 5 years?
Oh my gosh. I love to dream about that day of where,
Visualizing, not
yes.
dreaming.
Okay, I like that. I like that. Yes. Thinking of the day in 5 years. So, oh my gosh, in 5 years, my kids will be 8 and 11,
Oh man.
right? Is that mathing? Yeah. And that part is scary. But I hope that my business is that I can have a, I'm working with mompreneurs for 3 months and I can have three or four or five at a time, and that we're building something together and that they can see actual growth from where we started. And that I'm building my own schedule and that I can still be I love being a room mom and I love being volunteering at school, and I hope I can still do those things, but my
Mhm,
business has grown in a way where it's not just me putting things out there
mhm,
and no one responding. I want to have these like tangible clients and I can see that us working together has impacted them in their business.
mhm.
And I know I'll get there. I have a couple of clients right now, and it's fun to see, and especially the ones who are in it and see the value and
Mhm.
know that there's more to come. And I'm visualizing that that's where my business will take. I don't have a number goal like I want to be at six figures in 3 months, or anything. It's just I just want to get to that place where I feel fulfilled,
Yeah.
that it keeps me busy. I can still be present with my kids, and I'm contributing a decent amount financially to my family to reach our financial goals
Yeah.
sooner, which includes travel, making updates to the house, not having to worry that our kids need braces at the same time, those kind of
Those
things.
things. Life things.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. And mostly for myself too, to know that I did build a business.
Yeah.
I want it to be legit, not just like, oh, I help, whatever.
Right. No, no, and you are legit. It's
I
amazing
appreciate
seeing
that.
you, seeing what you're doing and seeing you grow. Um, if you could give one piece of advice to a mom who wants to start a
Mm.
business, but she feels unsure, what would that
Mhm.
advice be?
Do it.
Just do it.
Plain and simple. Just do it. I was talking with a mom, and she is like a Facebook, Instagram ad strategy. She does social media.
Hmm.
And she was like, I have kind of always wondered if I could do an e-commerce business and it would be this kind of business, and it was thought out.
Yeah.
And I said to her, if you've been thinking about this for more than a minute and you've actually thought about what the product would look like and who you would sell to, you that's a business plan. You
Yeah.
do it. What's the worst that happens? It doesn't work.
Right.
Okay. All right. At least you tried. I definitely believe in life you regret what you don't do,
Yeah.
not what you've tried.
Right.
And that's my advice. And that
Awesome. Yeah.
yeah, it's the nothing's too saturated. I mean, maybe if you were like, I'm gonna sell a mom planner, like, all right, maybe not. But, you
It
know,
can be a mom planner with a twist.
yes, you need a differentiator for sure. But I would just say, go for it.
Yeah.
You, you can do anything.
Love it. Love it. I totally agree. I am of
Yeah.
that same mindset of just do it. I
Yeah.
mean, the worst that can happen is that nothing happens, right?
Right. Right. And
Um,
but you're learning enough that you can take it somewhere else. I
yeah,
mean, even the work with Amazing was just kind of like, okay, whatever.
yeah,
But it was still really good groundwork for
exactly.
even just interacting with people, interacting with entrepreneurs who are, have shiny ball syndrome and how to bring them back to earth a little bit.
Did you say sh
And
shiny balls or shiny boss?
I said balls, shiny balls.
Okay.
But
Just needing some
both work.
clarification.
Yeah, both work. Both work. But so you'll maybe that it opens up a window into something else
Yeah.
too.
No,
But
for sure.
if you're thinking about it, if it's on your heart,
Yeah. Try
do it.
it. Do it. Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm.
This is awesome. So, Jess,
Thank you.
where can people find you and
Yes.
connect with you?
Yes. So I am on Instagram. My handle's at 2 p.m. marketing. So two M's. It's 2 p.m. marketing because I can only work at 2 p.m.
I
Kind
love
of
it.
like
I know
today.
when you shout that over, I'm like, oh my God, this is perfect.
Yes. And it's like, oh, sorry, I can, if it's at 2 p.m., I can do it because that's
Yeah.
when my children nap or my kid, one,
Mhm.
naps. Or at first it was one, now it's two, then it was two, now it's one again.
But you'll
But
keep the 2 p.m. marketing.
I like it.
I
I
like
like
it
what it
too.
stands for. I also have my own podcast, and Tina's going to be a guest on that as well coming
Yay.
up. Marketing for e-commerce mompreneurs is that podcast. And yeah, I'm decently active on Instagram. I like it over there. Same name on Threads. I'm getting into Threads a little bit. Do you like Threads?
I
Not sure
was on
yet.
it when it first came out,
Yeah.
and then I became socially overwhelmed.
Yes, I understand.
Socially, it's so funny. You are socially overwhelmed, but yet you're not social.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I
um,
get it. I get it.
and now I'm kind of trying all the things
Hmm.
to see what sticks. And
Yeah.
really, it's more or less for me, it's creating that brand awareness, right?
Hmm.
They
Hmm.
might have seen me on threads here and there, and then, and then they might have also seen me on Instagram and then have become interested in my content. And so
Hmm.
I'm kind of spreading my wings through all of the social media platform. I'm now getting back on TikTok. I got off TikTok because
Ah,
I was
okay.
just so tired.
Yes.
But as you know, I hired a VA about a month and a
Hmm.
half ago, and he's been doing a lot of the things that tactically they exhaust me. And
Hmm.
so having him on board, it's allowed me to do other things, but then also allowing us to kind of spread our message a little
Hmm.
bit wider through all of the other social media platforms. So I'm getting there.
Awesome.
Yeah, not getting a whole lot of engagement, but again, it's getting there in front of people. They say the average number of times someone has to recognize you or see you or your brand. Several years ago, it was 7 times, but now I'm
Yeah.
thinking with everything being so digitally compressed and everybody's moving at the speed of light,
Faster than light. Yeah.
yeah, faster than that. Now it's maybe on average 11 or 12 times that someone has
Wow.
to see your brand, not even your face, but anything about you. They recognize you
Hmm.
and then they kind of put two and two together and then they go, oh, and then you may have maybe created more interest around that time. But it takes that long now to get
Hmm.
someone to be
That's
serious about
amazing.
you. And so
Yeah.
because of that mindset, I figured I'm just going to spread my wings a little bit wide and the goal is really to create brand awareness, right? Because
Hmm.
the other
Yeah.
marketing efforts come in other places inside the funnel. But yeah,
Hmm.
so Jessica, do you have a website?
I do. It's just 2pmmarketing.com.
Awesome. So follow Jessica on Instagram, 2 p.m. marketing, her website, listen to her podcast. If
Thank
you're
you.
a mompreneur or someone aspiring to be a mompreneur and you need some motivation, some guidance, best practices, how to get started, once you've started, what to do. Jessica is your woman. She is
I
amazing. I love working with her
appreciate that.
because she's just very accountable. She shows up for everybody. She shows up for herself, and she does it with a family, a small young family. Um, and today has been a lot of fun. I miss talking to you.
It
We
is.
always have
Same.
these back and forth. The thing
We
is,
do.
Jessica and I have only seen each other. We've worked with each other for I don't know how many years now, maybe
Six.
eight, six.
Six.
That's a
Yeah.
six. We've only
Hmm.
seen each other once in person.
Once. I know.
But we
Isn't
have
that
this
wild?
connection that I'm just
I,
like, I know a lot of things about her
yeah.
family and
Yeah.
all of the changes and all of the life
Yep.
pivots. And it's
Yeah.
just fun having this like lifelong connection. And it's just, it starts by having conversations and being
Yep.
around people who are like-minded. And
Hmm.
so for those that are, trying to figure it out, trying to figure out where you fit in, if you
Hmm.
have a connection with that person, nurture that connection because then you never know what's going to happen down the
Hmm.
road. When I need something, I call Jessica. When I need to vent, I vent to
Yeah,
Jessica.
I
And I
love
hope
it.
that she can do the same with me. But that's kind of
Yes,
been our journey, and I love
agreed.
having you on
Yes.
here.
Thank you so much. Yeah, and that would be another thing. You asked me because you had the Allie and she went on maternity leave and then you asked me and it was one of those like, yeah, I just said yes. I didn't even think to ask any more questions and look at where it led.
Yeah.
And so that's a testament to just say yes. Try for
Just
a
say
while.
yes. Just do it and then
Just
figure
say
it out
yes.
later.
That's right.
Awesome,
I
Jess.
love it.
Thank you
Thank you for
so
having
much.
me.
You're
Thank
welcome. I look
you.
forward to being on your podcast as well. All
Yeah.
right. We'll
All
talk later.
right.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that you're feeling inspired and you're ready to take the next step towards building a business and a life that truly excites you. If you loved this episode, I'd be so grateful if you'd subscribe, leave a review, or share it with someone who could use a little extra motivation today. Don't forget to connect with me on social media or check out our website at listingstudios.com. Check out the resources mentioned in this episode, and you'll find all the details in the show notes. Until next time, keep dreaming big, taking action, and designing the life that you deserve. Remember, anywhere is possible through e-commerce. I'll catch you in the next episode.